Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high. Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Terrence Fullilove.
And I'm Bree Isom. Thanks for joining us.
Today was a big day for the Student Government Association on campus. NewsLink Indiana's Rebecca Brumfield has the story.
Student Government Association finished the campaign for the 2016 election of the new executive slate. A race ran closely between just two slates this year, Summit and 18.
We genuinely care about the students. We love each and every student. We're here, we're dedicated, we're going to pick up the phone, and we want this. We want this bad. So.
Now, last year, over 3,000 students casted their votes for the Student Government Association executive slate of their choice. Voting for this year's executive slate closed at 5, and the results and the reaction are something that you will love to see. Both Summit and 18 prepared for the phone call, and as anticipation grew amongst both parties, the phone finally rang. 3, 2, 1. And your winner is...
Okay, I see. Thank you. We won!
The new SGA slate for 2016 is Summit. The new SGA president is James Wells, Vice President Anna Betrez, Treasurer Emily Haley, and Secretary Brock Frazier. Summit will begin taking their first steps once they transition from the current SGA slate. Individually and as a group, Summit says 18 ran an amazing campaign and they have the utmost respect for them.
I would say they ran one hell of a good campaign. I will admit they have nothing but our respect. They have done an amazing job going after something that we all have to go to the student body for.
Summit was told they won by just around 60 votes, and they begin their transitions tomorrow. In Muncie, Rebecca Brumfield, NewsLink, Indiana.
Transitions for the new slate will begin tomorrow. For more information about SGA, visit the Ball State website at www.bsu.edu/SGA.
Today is Super Tuesday, and that means we are one step closer to narrowing down presidential candidates. With Donald Trump leading the Republican polls, followed closely by Cruz and Rubio. Hillary Clinton leads the Democratic polls, with Sanders trailing slightly. Karen Kafa has the story.
Momentum is on the side of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Both their party's winners in 3 of the first 4 contests, both poised to pick up the bulk of today's delegates. Voting in Vermont, Bernie Sanders said no matter what happens tonight, his campaign will still be going tomorrow.
We're very proud of what we are doing. We're proud of what we're going to continue to do. This is a campaign that's going to the Philadelphia Convention in July.
Also in his home state today, Republican Ted Cruz. Texas is seen as a must-win for the senator who put southern states at the heart of his strategy, but stumbled in South Carolina.
I speak to unity for Republicans, that let's come together and stand together behind the conservative principles, the free market principles and constitutional liberties that we believe in.
Cruz entered Super Tuesday as the only Republican with a win over Donald Trump, beating him in Iowa. He's also looking to bat back Marco Rubio, who launched his strongest attacks yet on Trump at Thursday's debate and hasn't let up.
Today, the frontrunner, at least according to the national polls in the Republican primary, is someone who is preying on your anger, is someone who is preying on fear.
Trump is already looking beyond today's contests, campaigning in Ohio. Clinton, meanwhile, making stops in Minneapolis, wouldn't say outright she's planning to face him in the fall.
He could be on the path. Maybe somebody else can intervene and rise above that, but I'm going to wait and see who they nominate.
But tonight's results could move the race closer to that November matchup. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Hillary Clinton has successfully won 6 states, including Virginia, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas, and Tennessee. while Trump also won 6 states, including Alabama, Massachusetts, Georgia, Virginia, Texas, and Tennessee. The next primary will be held this Saturday, and there will be a caucus in Nebraska. You know, this weekend was so nice. It was like 70 on Sunday.
It sure was. It was really nice, but then it became cold and the wind picked up and almost blew me down.
I know, I hear it's supposed to snow soon.
No,
Let's
I'm
head
not
to
ready.
Michael Behrens for the weather.
Well, that's right, guys. There is more snow in the forecast, and unfortunately, it comes to end our week as many students will be leaving for spring break. But things right now much cooler than they were this weekend. 29 degrees under cloudy skies. It feels like 15 degrees outside right now with that wind out there. The radar, though, that is clear across the region, though we still have some snow coming down off of Lake Michigan as the system moves off toward the east. That's going to be the contender we have to deal with in the overnight tonight. So I'm keeping that chance of flurries in your forecast for tonight. Our next weather maker still off toward the west. That's going to come our way as we get closer to your Thursday. Now your headlines for tonight. Temperatures, they'll continue to fall throughout the overnight. Much cooler for tomorrow. More snow is on the way. And the good news is if you're staying in Muncie, it looks like we have some warmer weather on the way for your spring break. We'll have details coming up in your full forecast.
For students who live or will be living on Neely Avenue near campus, there could be a big change in the living experience. NewsLink Indiana reporter Sarah Lehman has more.
Yesterday, the Indiana Department of Transportation granted Muncie a $1.5 million contract to start construction on an area that is highly populated by students.
Construction on Neely Avenue is going to include a lot of changes, including changing the pavements, replacing all of the sidewalks, changing the curbs and gutters, adding medians, and the biggest change of all, taking away the parking outside of houses.
Neely is a well-known area around campus and is a home away from home for a lot of students.
It's going to be interesting to see because a lot of the houses, their residents have to park on the street. So I don't know where they're going to park because I know the street's busy. Like if you go outside right now and look, every single spot will be taken.
This project has been on the drawing board since former Mayor Dan Cannon was in office 8 years ago.
It was a year or two ago. They were kind of doing some master planning between campus and downtown and Minnetrista. And so it just kind of, it was kind of this group thing. Anyone could come in and sketch or draw or leave an idea.
This will be the second street reconstruction with hope to improve the connection between Ball State and the town of Muncie.
I think looks like a good project, and I think helps strengthen that connection between the campus, the university, and things that are not the university.
Students who live on Neely have a lot of questions and realize the pros and cons of the project.
Then if they put a median in the middle of the road, then are they like going to be tearing up like into our yards or that kind of stuff?
Gutter system would be nice though, because I know flooding is
a huge problem.
NewsLink Indiana will update this story as it unfolds and how people's reactions may change. In Muncie, I'm Sarah Lehman, NewsLink Indiana.
The construction start date for this project has not yet been released. Police in Muncie arrested a man today for allegedly impersonating a police officer and sexually assaulting a woman in her home. 43-year-old John Mangus forced his way into a home and attacked the woman who lives there. According to investigators, she said he also threatened to kill her 10-year-old daughter. Mangus now faces at least 4 felony charges and is being held at the Delaware County Jail. Up next, find out how Ball State will be recognizing Disabilities Awareness Month.
And how you can donate to a charitable cause benefiting East Central Indiana. All this and more coming up next.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Hello and welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Joey Martin Feek, half of the husband and wife country music duo Joey and Rory, told her family she loves them and will be going soon. The Hoosier native was first diagnosed with cervical cancer in June 2014. She stopped treatment in October and returned to her childhood home near Alexandria, Indiana for hospice care. Rory wrote in a blog post yesterday, she is still alive but has been asleep for several days and her body is quickly shutting down. Rory said she gave her 2-year-old daughter, Indiana, one last kiss before falling asleep. When Joey passes, she will be buried in her family plot behind the farmhouse.
Disability Awareness Month begins today. Here's Camille Breck with the story.
Today marks the beginning of Disability Awareness Month. Ball State is offering a variety of events for students to do this month to raise awareness. Ball State's Alliance for Disability Awareness and Disability Services paired with the Governor's Council on People with Disabilities to theme this year as Inclusion is Within Everyone's Ability. Kiana Bennett, president of Alliance for Disability Awareness Club, shares why this month is so special to her.
I love the people there. We really talked about everything. We really hang out and we like a big family. And if any of us have issues about anything, we all jump together and help one another.
They are offering a disability film series every Wednesday, and RJ Mitt from Breaking Bad will be here on March 21st to talk about what it's like being an actor with a disability. Also, student Lexi Harmakinsky is involved in Alliance for Disability Awareness Club.
I'm Lexi Harmakinsky. I'm a freshman here at Ball State. I'm a speech language pathology major, and I thought that this club would really bring out my major a little bit. I've always had a passion for kids who have special needs. I've been working with them for a long time, and I really enjoy it. And this club is a really good way to get involved and kind of have that hands-on experience.
Disability Services has tables set up in the Student Center Tally from 11 to 1 p.m. on March 1st, 2nd, 14th, and 15th to hand out brochures, stickers, and pins so students can learn more about all of the different disabilities. Brianna tells us what Disability Awareness Month means and what she's excited about.
Awareness Month is a chance for us to educate and bring awareness to everybody, because I think a lot of the stereotypes and prejudices against people with disability is because of lack of education and knowledge. And what people don't know, they're kind of afraid of or tend to have a stereotype about.
From Muncie, I'm Camille Breck, NewsLink Indiana.
All events are free for any Ball State students and the community to participate in. Contact Disability Services at dsd@bsu.edu to find out more.
Help support a great cause while staying warm by donating money to the Chili Bowl fundraiser. The proceeds go towards different charities around East Central Indiana. For the 10th year in a row on Wednesday, NewsLink Indiana's David K. Jones has the story.
For the past decade, Ted Neal has put on the Chili Bowl fundraiser where people can buy a cup of warm chili and a ceramic bowl. These bowls will represent the fact that there is someone less fortunate that will go hungry. Neal said that his students have often taken their free time to construct the art.
We get together several times on weekends and have making sessions when they don't have regular classes, and it can be tough for them to find time.
It's often common to forget about those who aren't in our everyday lives, but for those students who have been able to donate their time and efforts, it is greatly appreciated, especially by Alex Hamill. Hamill was once a college student who knows how hard it is to remember those less fortunate.
Studying or something like that, but
to be intentional about using that time to do something that's going to better someone else's life, that's huge. I mean, we can ask people for that or talk about, helping out people, but to really be active and involved in that, that's huge. And
Loretta Parson wanted to remind people that anything counts.
You can always do something, and whatever it is, it is very meaningful. Don't ever think anything is ever too little, because it's not.
75% of all bowls purchased will go to the Muncie Mission, Second Harvest Food Bank, and the Harvest Food Kitchen. In Muncie, David K. Jones, NewsLink, Indiana.
The Chili Bowl starts at 11 a.m. on Wednesday in the atrium and will end at 1 p.m.
Sounds so good. I think I'll
really
have to stop by. Coming up, what you can expect for your upcoming week before spring break.
Your full weather forecast is next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
You know, Terrence, I'm really interested to hear about this snow that's supposed to come on Thursday.
I don't want to hear about no snow right now, but let's take it to Michael Barnes for the weather.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. There is snow on the way, and it could certainly accumulate at least to a few inches here in Muncie on Thursday. And that's not the only chance of snow we have in our forecast. Actually, more snow chances for the weekend as well before the warming trend does make it here to Muncie. Temperatures across the region right now, though, 29 Kansas City, 29 here in Muncie as well, 58 Dallas, Fort Worth. But we take a look at where this compared to where we were 24 hours ago. We are much cooler here in Indiana. Down 16 in Muncie, down 19 Indianapolis, 19 Terre Haute, Champaign, Illinois. You guys are down 20 degrees, and that's not the worst part of the conditions right now. Take a look at these winds. Northwest 25, 22, 24. That takes our wind chills, and that makes things feel bitterly cold outside, like 11 in Lafayette and Kokomo, 15 here in Muncie, only 10 in Fort Wayne. And as the temperatures go down in the overnight hours of tonight, these wind chills are going to stay bitterly cold. You're going to want to bundle up, cover any exposed skin if you're out and about tonight or tomorrow morning, as you're definitely going to feel the effect of that wind chill. The good news is right now, though, radar is clear across the region, though we do have a little bit of snow coming off of Lake Michigan as the system sort of spins around as it heads off toward the east. We're going to keep those flurry chances in the overnight forecast for tonight as more of that snow potential to drop down over central Indiana. We're not expecting really any accumulation, but just some nuisance snowfall out there. Our next weather system, that's still back out toward the west. That's eventually going to make its way toward us. That's what's going to bring us that snowfall on Thursday. Thursday. Moving over to Precision Cast now, you see what I was talking about. You see that little band of snowfall coming off of the lakes. That's really, again, not going to accumulate to anything, just sort of a nuisance around the area early in the hours of tomorrow and late tonight. That does move out of here by the afternoon hours. Things looking pretty clear for Wednesday before more clouds move back in Wednesday evening. This is our next snowmaker. This one a little more significant. This moves in early on the day Thursday and pretty much lasts throughout the day Thursday of snow falling around the region. By Thursday afternoon, a little bit in the way of warmer temperatures does move in here. We could see a rain-snow mix or even some freezing rain out of the system as well before that moves off toward the east by the end of your Thursday. And again, things clear up for your Friday. Now, this isn't the only forecast you guys are looking forward to. As we're heading out towards spring break, we're definitely going to have some traveling out there to contend with. For those early travelers, if you're heading out on Wednesday, not a bad day. If you're heading out on Thursday, especially if you're heading toward the north, that's the worst time to actually head out. 2.3 inches of snowfall for your Thursday, 2.6 here in Muncie. The temperatures, if you're heading out a little bit later in the week, Friday not too bad, but even better on Saturday, 63 Dallas-Fort Worth, 57 Kansas City, 42 here in the sort of central Indiana region. As we head over to the precipitation forecast, we're dry on Friday, but you see this area of precip move in as we head into Saturday. A rain-snow mix for your Saturday. Again, not a lot of accumulation expected as those temperatures will be warming up pretty nicely throughout the day on Saturday. For tonight, we're looking at 23 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, some flurries around the region. Tomorrow, partly sunny, cooler temperatures. As we head over to that 7-day forecast for you, things really not too bad if you don't mind the few days of snowfall we have in there. We're definitely cooler to start this week. For Wednesday, 33 degrees, Thursday, 37, Friday, 36, and we warm up by next week as we get into the start of next week, start of spring break, 57 for Monday and 63 for Tuesday.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's March, everyone.
Yes, it is. When we come back, we will take a look into March Madness and more after the break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Austin Lacey with tonight's sports. The Ball State men's basketball team celebrating senior night here in Worthen Arena. And March 1st is on the calendar. The Cardinals looking to get a piece of the March Madness action. There you see the Ball State get the bucket there, cut the lead to 5. Central Michigan comes down to the other end, answers with a three-pointer. That'll advance their lead to 8. Ball State struggled on the offensive end in this one. As you see, Central Michigan get another bucket. That put their lead to 10 at the time. Bo Calhoun hits a 3 for the Cardinals at the other end. They cut it to 6. That's as close as they were ever to get it. As you see, Bo Calhoun, the senior, getting a rejection at the other end. And then the final nail in the coffin for Central Michigan, as they are going to go on to win this one by a score of 65-57. And we are now going to go to NewsLink Indiana's own Peter Hood, who is live inside Worthen Arena. Peter?
Yeah, guys, disappointing night here inside Johnny Worthen Arena, a night in which Ball State could have clinched the Mid-American Conference West Division with a win. They fall on senior night at the hands of the Central Michigan Chippewas. Both teams now even atop the MAC West at 10-7 in conference. The difference in the game for Central Michigan, senior guard Chris Fowler, guy who comes into tonight tied for 5th all-time in assist in conference history. He had 20 points tonight on 9 for 15 shooting. At times put the Chippewas on his back. Ball State's guards struggled on the opposite end of that. Francis Kiapwe and Jeremy Tyler combined for just 2 points in the loss tonight for Ball State. Franco House did set a new career high 23 points after having career high 20 on Saturday against Eastern Michigan. The Cardinals, though, had 12 turnovers, leading to 13 Central Michigan points. The Chippewas committed just 2 turnovers all night in the loss. Combine that with the fact that Central had 4 more offensive rebounds than Ball State, and the Chippewas in total had 18 more shots on the evening than the Cardinals did, and that ultimately doomed Ball State tonight. They fall by a final score of 65-57. That sets up a big game for the Cardinals on Friday at Northern Illinois. NIU lost tonight, so Ball State is clear of NIU as far as the MAC standings go, but the Cardinals still with an opportunity to clinch a first-round bye in the MAC tournament. That will be on the line at Friday at Northern Illinois. 8 p.m. Eastern tip, 7:30 will be, again, 8 p.m. Eastern at Northern Illinois will be the first tip there. Mid-American Conference Tournament starts next Monday. We'll see where the Cardinals end up. Reporting live in Worthen Arena from Muncie, Peter Hood, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks a lot there, Peter. That was NewsLink's Peter Hood inside Worthen Arena. To do the high school basketball side, Indiana high school basketball sectionals officially tipped off across the state tonight. Delta, Yorktown, Muncie Burris, and Wapahani all in action as they begin their quest for their state championship hopes, rather. As we take a look at the scores for those games, Delta and Yorktown faced off. Yorktown got the better of Delta in that one. Wapahani and Sheraton. Wapahani became victorious in that one. The score was 74-54. And Muncie Burris was defeated by LaPel at the final of 74-50. Yeah, guys, a lot of basketball. March is in the air. Perfect time for basketball, especially in the state of Indiana.
Yes. But who's your choosing for the March Madness?
March Madness, a lot of good teams out there right now. One of the craziest years in college basketball. Of course, we'd like to see Ball State get into the NCAA tournament. Haven't done that since 2001. So it'd be great to see our own Cardinals playing for it in March. But they got to get through the MAC tournament before they think about that.
Right. Thank you.
Up next, find out what the Association of Acapella is up to lately.
And how Twitter might have to shut down for a few days. We'll be right back.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Well, let's see how the weather looks for this week. I mean, it's the week before spring break. I hope it's going to be semi-nice.
Right, me too.
But it's the week before spring break, and we'll have some nice weather here in Muncie for spring break, but we got to get through some snow before we get there. The 7-day forecast for you guys out there, we're expecting cooler temperatures for tomorrow, 33 degrees. Snow returns Thursday, possibly a couple inches or so. Temperatures warm into the weekend, into the 60s by next week.
All right, thank you. That's all for tonight's NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.